World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day to all of our listeners here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is World News in 5 and I'm your host, Steph, Vicente. United States President Donald Trump says there have been what he describes as productive conversations toward a possible full resolution of the conflict in the Middle East. According to President Trump, the BBC reports these recent talks with Iran have been detailed and constructive, raising hopes of easing ongoing hostilities. Because of this progress, the U.S. President announced a temporary pause on planned military strikes targeting Iranian power plants and energy facilities. The suspension will last for 5 days, giving both sides more time to continue negotiations. President Trump added that the decision will depend on the outcome of ongoing discussions throughout the week. He also expressed optimism that these diplomatic efforts could lead to a complete and lasting resolution of tensions in the region. In related news, Iran's Fars news agency, which is linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, is denying any communication with United States President Donald Trump. The BBC reports an unnamed Iranian source claims there has been no direct or indirect contact with President Trump and suggested the U.S. leader back down after learning Iran might target power stations across the region. Meanwhile, despite a government-imposed internet blackout in Iran, some citizens are still managing to get online and share their reactions. Several young Iranians expressed frustration and anxiety, with one man in Tehran warning that the situation could come at a high cost for the people regardless of how the conflict ends. Others described feeling confused and overwhelmed, with one woman saying President Trump's actions are driving them crazy, while another questioned the uncertainty of their daily lives. Another resident added that the U.S. president is unpredictable, saying many people have no clear idea what will happen next. And finally, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he held a phone call earlier with U.S. President Donald Trump. According to BBC News, Prime Minister Netanyahu says President Trump believes recent joint U.S.-Israel military gains could open the door to a possible agreement with Iran to help achieve the war's objectives. The Israeli leader added that any potential deal would be aimed at protecting Israel's key national interest. At the same time, Prime Minister Netanyahu says Israeli forces are continuing military strikes in both Iran and Lebanon, targeting what he described as Tehran's nuclear program and delivering heavy blows to Hezbollah. He also claimed that additional Iranian nuclear scientists were recently killed, warning that more operations could follow. However, Iranian officials are pushing back, with the country's parliament speaker denying any talks with the United States and calling such reports fake news meant to influence global oil markets. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.